have any questions? The lovely Sean is bearing a microphone. Yeah, questions or comments. We'd love to hear them.
I guess my comment is going back to Tabs talking about the loss of family and what we have and the creation of family. But for me, a theme in the film as an adoptive parent is they're adopting each other as family, and they're talking about the loss of their children and kinship care. So yeah, I just wanted to say that I think that was for me also as another big film is that so the creation of family in prison is also an adoption of family, and possibly mirroring what's going on for some of those women as well in their experience of what's happened to their children. Adoption is, we think, is bad in this country. In America, it's huge and systemically racist. Black children cost less to adopt than white children in America. You know, so yeah, just a theme for me that was brought out.
Thanks for that. Thanks. The women in the first row.
Yeah, thank you for the film. Just to wonder, there was lots of different themes in the film, you know, family, ethnicity, black, white, butch, femme, religious. You know, but do you think there was too many things? And could there be less and more depth?
What did you think?
I would like to see less themes and more depth. I think the discussion groups could have gone a little bit more. And I don't like violence, so I could have done without them. But of course, that's part of it. But I think sometimes too much is good for nothing, that my grandmother would always say. So sometimes we might have to just develop the themes a little bit deeper and do less.
You know what, I don't like violence either, but prison is not a picnic, to be honest with you. And when I was the assistant and working in that prison documentary, I was like, oh my God, these are all the girls in school that I would run away from, because they're the ones that would have the sharpened combs, because that was the vibe. There's a vibe of violence there, and an undertone all the time. It's not a safe place, you know, and they're gangs and they're pockets of people. So I think it was necessary to have the violence, and also women are considered to be non-violent. You know, there's a construction of femaleness as, oh, so nice, we'll work everything out, because if women ran the world, it would be so amazing, because, you know, women, and I don't think that's the case. Because also, even in families, a lot of mothers are very violent to their children, like actual families, biological families. So I think as people representing womanhood, I think it's important to show violence, that women can be violent, actually.
Just listening to you, I think what I'm present to is in my day job, I work in the violence against women and girls sector. And I'm thinking about a time I spent delivering programs in Holloway Prison to women who were incarcerated and who had been sentenced for violent crimes, usually against their perpetrators. And what was interesting is the way the criminal justice system viewed these women as perpetrators, because of course they committed a crime, and so they were serving time for it. But then in the program, what we did with those women was then discover that they were actually survivors of childhood sexual abuse, physical abuse, rape, but obviously society doesn't relate to you as a survivor. The society is relating to you as a criminal. You did a crime and now you're serving the time for it. So your comment, I think, is really interesting in terms of the depth, but I'm just really present as well to how women are perceived in particular ways, but equally we are disproportionately impacted by violence because of gender. Like it's a cause and consequence. Our gender is a cause and consequence of violence because of women's unequal status. Does that make sense? And so I don't think we can leave that outside the debate when we're talking about women being Oh, no, I know you're not. That was just...
But I'm saying there was lots of different themes there, and
sure.
I would like to see a richer development of
And you said earlier, sorry, can I? Yeah, you said earlier that you would have liked to see more in the group discussions.
Well, I think that is how the film developed, was through those focus groups and the theatre piece that grew out of that. So I think it's actually really awesome that she still kept those bits in the film, because they are brilliant. As soon as they pop up and you start, you obviously start to think you're hearing finally this authentic voice coming through, and it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
It's really, really powerful.
Thank you.
Yes, I couldn't help but notice that the two main protagonists in the film, Treasure and Brownie, their lovers and the victims of their violence are all white women. Do you think this was a conscious choice by the filmmaker?
Their lovers were women of colour. Their lovers were Hispanic. They wouldn't be considered white women, actually. But I think it was deliberate to include, because Hispanic women are represented in the prison system. The only white woman was Kit, who's played by Ray Phoenix. And I thought that was interesting that she was white and taken into the family and then taken into the white supremacist family. I was a bit ambivalent about it. I think what's interesting is the majority of women were women of colour, black, Asian, and what they call Hispanic, Latinx. Chicana.
But I agree. I think there may have been a deliberateness to where the women of colour were placed. In answer to your question,
Thank you so much for bringing this back into people's attention. I mean, I like Campbell. I did see this film for the first time at the London Lesbian Film Festival a few years ago, and it blew my mind. Sharon Junet is a maverick of your genre. She's an auteur, she's amazing, and she's not recognized the way she should be, really, but we know why. I wanted to extend to the fact about family chosen and not chosen, but I apologize for assuming, because incarceration for me will be greatest fear. For a woman it will be terrible, but I think in prison everything is stripped down. There's no laws about how you adapt families and you do families, and violence is not really violence. It's like, I want to be violent to you and hurt you, but I want to survive. And as Brownie said very correctly, by any means necessary. And it's all about that, how women actually pushed to this level of extending themselves in that way to survive, and especially queer people, and especially people of color, people that are marginalized, because you Campbell said very correctly about diaspora, but diaspora goes very, very far. I would say that about the Greeks, I would say that about the Irish, I would say that about the Italians, that kind of leave, their roots, if you like, to go and try a different life, and everything, the prejudice that they experience when they go away, and what happens to fight the prejudice. As you said, Martin Scorsese very well, because he's a New Yorker, but it's really an Italian New Yorker, isn't he? So it goes like that. I think it's a great film. I think it's a great gathering, and also chosen family, consider it to me, because I personally don't speak to my family. I don't speak to my blood family at all, and that's a conscious choice that I have carried the cross for. But the family that I've got here are chosen, and they are beautifully chosen, and they are my family, and these are the people I rely on for anything, and these are the people I accept any criticism and praise at the same time. And enough of that. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you. Do you do Vicky next?
Thanks a lot. I just want to go on what you were saying just around, I've worked in men and women's prisons. A man will get, like, say, 5 to 6 years for murder. A woman will get 10 to 15 years. The difference in terms of how women are put inside is huge. And it's like, unless we like, I used to be a through the gate worker in Holloway, which means I took women out on the streets to find them housing, because most women didn't have housing. And it's like, if a woman hasn't got a place to go to, or men, they're left out on the streets, they don't have any money, that's it. So they might go into a shop to steal to get food, then they get caught stealing, then they're put straight back inside, 24 hours we call it. The amount of people that have been my clients have 24 hours, so we need to, this whole system is so wrong, it's just so wrong. And exactly how you were saying about Angela Davis, she's, you know, like this plantation, it's modern day slavery. There's nothing more about it, nothing less about that. It's just what it is. And I feel like we need to go towards the Amsterdam way, where in the next 5 years they're going to have no prisons. There's going to be no more prisons in Holland. And it's like what they've created is houses where people go to for support and for training, for education, for support around drug and alcohol misuse, all that stuff. I mean, 95% of my clients in both the Scrubs in Pentonville and in Holloway, you know, everyone's on drugs and alcohol. Yeah. And underneath that, what's underneath that is trauma. Everyone comes with trauma, every single person.
Yeah.